moves if they want to, if Remy can get those thresh hooks in. But it doesn't look like they have too many options other than that.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a different look here for the Renegades squad because it's poke opportunity.
Oh, that ward was placed just recently, but it's gonna be enough time. Quick draw is there, he uses it. Cocoon's gonna be just out of range of the turret. Now he walks in for the spiders. Billy Boss actually couldn't make the range, but he does get forward, throws the flash on. Gray health will be there. First blood for Team Dignitas. Was not that good coming from Alex. He missed his laser. Shifter feels good to go in. Keyray just to the side. And he gets the bite in, kills down Alex each, and gets the flash.
Keyray is in the right places at the right time right now.
He really is.
Setting these up, and he is knowing and he's communicating with his laners, hey, this is when I'm coming in.
And the thing that gets me on this Cyrene is they notice the pressure on RF Legendary.
Oh no! Remy, oh, the pick!
That's going to be a womp-womp situation for Renegades. They try to go in a little too deep. Like you were saying, that mid lane is there. They're spreading themselves very thin in a 1-1-2. The 3 now as Crumbs kind of hovers down here, but did not way around, and they're going to lose at least half health on this turret. But Billy Boss's kind of goal side sit here may make it the whole turret.
Oh, he's
got a great health. He goes down. Remy's able to take that kill, but then she falls, and now it's going to be Apollo on the turret. It's a free fight back and forth, but that's a support for a top side. And that's losing a lot of damage in Billy Boss right now. So Dignitas is going to back off. They got a turret, opened up the map a little bit more, and can hopefully work from there. Dragon's still up.
Yeah, when the CC comes out as Tahm Kench is low, that's where you save it for. But, you know, Gravity Field stacks up right then, and he can't do anything about it. That's actually great. When you're able to take out the person who's going to stop your playmaking and you actually kill a Tahm Kench, it's pretty much handed to you. But right here, now we're going to see the CC.
Oh, Keyray tries to go in immediately on the gravity field once again. Somebody goes down, and big plays by Alex Each putting those in the team turning. Good communication there from everybody as they now get Dragon number 2. Pretty hard fought. Dignitas is not giving up these things lightly.
That's the moment in the game where you have your gray screen and you go, oh yeah, he has cleanse. I didn't notice. That happened. That happens actually quite frequently to a lot of players. They're gonna lose anyway.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. So does Saint. 4 to 2, 31 of the clock. Oh, this is what we were looking for.
The damage.
But wait, can they follow up on it? You're right, the damage. 1 for 1 so far. Support for support. That Crumbs damage dealers are still up. Billy Boss gonna get hit up. Alex Each takes him down as they flash over the wall. Now it is going to be a 4v3 as Baron gets started. Keyray is still alive, a huge factor to start off a 50-50 smite war.
And that might be what it comes down to here. It looks like they kind of want to contest this. Keyray, no flash, so we won't be able to get in there that way. But if they can land a good charm, if they can land some damage and follow up here, it's just going to go up to Crumbs.
No smite, no repel, no try. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they haven't gone returned to the scene of the crime. They haven't done any type of TP split, but Crumbs is going to look for a fight right now.
He gets bumped out. Kiwi Kid, not really the target you want. A flash play onto Apollo. Now can Renegades follow up on Remy's hit? You see RF trying to stop the mid turret, and he cannot. That goes down by the hands of Billy Boss, and Dignitas tries to work around the map. They get a turret, they lose a support.
Yep, they wanted to have 3 people top to the 4 of Renegades and not get engaged on, but Crumbs came from the side and was able to start that fight.
That was the ultimate used, and then he was absorbed, so they do not have a lot of the defense they were just looking at. 40 minutes coming up on the clock. Renegades now looking to take Baron against Dignitas. How wild this Dig fight against the Baron attempts now. Kiwi Kid goes in, flashes out to make sure they pick up a kill, but no, that's going to be the kill going in onto Crumbs. D-Ray getting grabbed, another flash being blown to get out of a situation. And now opposite sides of where they really want to be here. See if Renegades pulls up, heads to the right as they need to protect some turrets.
As soon as your smite dies, you stop doing Baron. Just stop it. RF does have some lifesteal though with the Mercurial, and they're going to start it up.
The crowdy's getting rowdy. They want to see a Baron fight right now. And it looks like it's going to be started. 5,700 HP onto Baron. Got to get in for the smites. Crumbs over the wall. There's Kiwi Kid. He goes in very low, and he goes. No, he stays alive. That's Remy and Lod that are both down. Dignitas has pulled the trigger. Spooky Ghosts are out. I don't think they're going to follow here. They want to turn back. They wanted to go for Baron. They couldn't follow through the gravity field of Alex Each anyways, and it is on now. Remy was actually not able to use the Crucible. That fight happened so quick and on Dignitas' terms. Crumbs is still alive, Cyrene. The 50-50 smite is alive, and it could still happen. If he could still dump over it at the right time, he goes down. He's not going to have it now.
Kiwi might headbutt him out. They're so hard to get into this pit.
Crumbs goes over the wall. What? What was that? Crumbs is going to go down now. inside the pit. He tries to make a last-ditch effort play, but it was after expending all the abilities that would have actually saved him if he did get it. Very...
And Shifter making it happen there. Shifter sitting in a bush, being very patient. His team is baiting the Baron. I was talking about it so much where you just need to deny vision, force them into a spot where you can execute on the pick composition, and they got it together. 47 minutes into the game, it was 6-5 for so long, and Dignitas picks up 8 kills in a quick sequence of events to end the game 14-5 and 2-1 after the first day, week 2.
Explosive and mind-bending. Saying Crumbs and Kiwi Kid and having them not on the same team during calls breaks your brain, but what a game coming in from Dignitas there, and Renegades as well, both to come in with a sub and both to really show the same kind of dynamic there. A longer sort of game, hesitance on some of the fights, but overall, they knew what they were doing because basically nothing was happening. They were getting what they wanted. They were playing very safe, and while that's not the game that everybody wants to watch, that's the game they played, and it almost worked for them.
Yeah, they played very safe. It was a different look from the Renegades this week as well. They were the team that always wanted to engage, look for the Morgana binding, look for the Callista ulti into making a play.
Yep.
This was kite back Renegades, and then the Tahm Kench pretty much stops you playing a pick composition. And Dignitas picked up their own, and it came up big in the end.
And we see that the Callista again. That's kind of the it's for really anybody, a team that's for sure engaged, and they want to get engaged at any time. But having that taken away seems to be a big hit for these guys. Even Lod would have played that, and it seems to hit Renegades.
It enables the team so much. Lod, shrugs his shoulders. He's subbing in.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of time with him, but at the end there, he was the one who got picked off. But the team seems supportive of him still.
Yep. Ra's very happy with Team Dignitas right now. Having just that one loss now, 2-1. They win over CLG, and now win over Renegades. It's very nicely done for them. It kind of shows that, as you were saying, the teams that you feel you should be beating, and then maybe some at the top, which means as you come into the second half of the split, you won't have as much of a kind of a juxtaposition to those teams.
Exactly, and also this win is rather big for Dignitas because if you're thinking of the projected standings right now, they're pretty close to Renegades in a lot of people's minds, and if they have that one up on them, then that means at worst, if they tie them 1-1, they get to play a tiebreaker against them.
Very true.
Or they'll end up owning the tiebreaker and be able to get into playoffs off of that because they're jockeying for position for that 5th, 6th, or maybe even higher now in Dignitas' eyes.
We'll see what happens. Well, we saw the game as well. Right now we're going to send it down to Freak to get the lowdown on Dig's second win of the split.
Thank you very much, Ravens Irene. I'm here with Kirei, the victorious jungler here for Team Dignitas. First things first, I got to talk to you about this game going around for like 48 minutes, and it hinged on Baron. I know you're new to Dignitas, but you're aware of the Dignitas memes around Baron. How much of that game were you like, oh God, it's going to happen again? Were you like ever afraid?
Well, the first attempt I was pretty afraid, but then the second attempt, Shifter said, okay, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do, and as you saw, like, I reflanked, so we made sure that no vision there, and then, so basically all Nash, and they were in a really bad position, and we managed to catch Corki, and we managed to win a game of that.
And that was, of course, a really good pick for you guys. I want to start then with the early game because you started out like 3-0, you're getting all the kills, but Renegades kept taking your turrets down, and they kind of pressured you back without even killing your champions off. Talk to me about how you guys were approaching the early to mid game and your role in it.
The thing is, like, we want to make sure that every time before we try to do something, we made sure the lanes were pushed, so we had time to set up control, like push mid lane, walk in top side, and get full vision. And when they managed to get the turrets, we were just, they were just out-rotating us a little bit, and they managed to get most of the times for free.
So you said they out-rotated you in the early game. You guys finally caught back equal in gold. And there was this like 25-minute stint in the mid game where nothing was happening and you're fighting back and forth and nothing's going on. How did you finally come up with a plan to actually win the game?
The thing is, Danny just thought of the plan, which is like he was going to trap in the bush, so he's just staying there. We made, like I said, we made sure no vision, and we managed to bait the Baron and not throw this time.
And it worked out, yeah. So you guys secured it. You pretty much perfectly smited the last one as well. So then talk to me about sort of playing with Team Dignitas now. You guys are 3 games in with the season. I think you guys were sort of a big underdog coming in, but right now, top half of the standings at 2-1. Tell me about how this sort of journey with Dignitas has been.
The thing is, like, everyone in the house is really nice, and when I came into the house, everyone's really friendly. Everyone gets also well really good along, so let's say we do something bad in game, like, everyone's like fine with it, you know, we just discuss after the games, and everyone's really professional. Like, I came from the Challenge Series, and most people talk in the game when something happens, you know, but like, in LCS, it happens like barely. So that's really good.
So final question for you then. Tomorrow you face up against TSM. Of course, a very strong team in North America. Even though they're 1-2, they're very, very scary, I would say. So how are you going to approach that match?
Well, the thing is, like, I'm always confident, but like how I want to approach it is like I think just we're gonna win.
You're just going to win, just no pressure at all?
Yeah, no pressure. Like I don't feel pressure by playing against any team. I just know they're good. I keep it in my back of the head, but like I'm like still the same.
All right. Anything else?
Oh no, that's it.
All right, just making sure you like jumped in a second. All right, that's going to do it for us. Kire, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on your win. And let's go ahead and toss us down to the guys at the desk to talk about that game.
Thank you, Freak. Kire 5-1-7 in that victory on the Elise over Renegades. And that's the first person I want to touch on is Kire. Looking comfortable on the Elise. Got off to a very good start. Couple early kills, picking up 2, 1 in the top lane and in the mid lane, as well as blowing summoner spells. But then we hit that 25-minute period that Freak was talking about where both teams seemed at a loss for what they needed to do to bring a victory around.
It was a little bit of a slow game, obviously. Kire had the good start with the few early ganks, but Renegades also had really superior wave clear in all 3 lanes, which made it really hard for Team Dignitas to take larger advantage of the early pressure that Kire gave.
Yeah, the only kills he got were really just gank kills, and you don't often get objectives off that. And so what ends up happening is the lanes just reset, and then Renegades comp just pushes so much better. So as long as they're still in lanes just pushing, they're eventually going to take turrets, and that's what happened. They took the top and the bottom pretty quickly.
Yep, the Graves, Corky, Thresh bot lane were very oppressive lanes, continuing to push waves into turrets. We saw 2 early turrets fall for the side of Renegades. But now I want to dive into this 25-minute period where we didn't see a whole lot happen and break down, or at least come to a conclusion as to what the different strategies were that these teams could have taken in order to bring about a victory sooner, or in the case of Renegades, even come out with the victory at all.
Yeah, so like we said, Renegades comp has a ton of wave clear, a ton of push potential. They got into that kind of turret trade where they came out ahead, and then the thing was Dig still had a lot of pressure, and so Dig can't push on them. All they can do is really bait and look for picks, and Renegades just played really safe and just focused more on wave clearing, so the game stalled out for a really long time.
Yeah, we did see that turret trade in top and bottom lane where Renegades was able to secure an inhib turret fairly early into the game. We then later saw them pick up a Baron.
And then never go back.
And then never really return to that
We got
top
the inhibitor
lane.
open. It's all we need.
Yeah, they got 1 mid turret off it, and that's it.
Yeah, it was really tricky, honestly, for Renegades because they keep picking themselves, and this is a trend across really the first 3 games, these compositions where you have a Rek'Sai in the jungle, a non-engaged top laner, and then the entire initiation force falls on Remy. And even though they had good wave clear here, you need to land one hell of a death sentence, especially when you have an Alistar in the front line who can ult out if you land him, and then obviously that creates pressure, but it's not a team fight initiation, so you have to land a second hook in order to get something started. So wave clear as they may, they couldn't actually find clean fights.
Right, we had the Tom Kench as well, another level of safety there for Dignitas in case anyone did get hit by a hook. You know, so then it basically becomes a conversation around Renegades and whether or not they have any other strategies in their book, because so far they've been hyper reliant on Remy to be that engaged tool for the team. And as we've now discovered, a Thresh is not enough of an arsenal in terms of starting fights for this team. Dignitas, though, Billy Boss into the top lane. They've got some incredible success with subs in the lineup. Not that the Tom Kench was the reason for the win, but Dignitas didn't seem to struggle too much bringing in a newer player.
I think it'll look like a little bit of a struggle. Alistar Tom Kench is a combo where, especially when you have such a safe carry line, that you can just ult the Alistar behind and have him like headbutt in the Zonulus Victor or something. And they never even looked for that play. I don't remember seeing them combo up for a TP together a single time. All those times they were baiting, you can just get a free TP with 2 people behind.
Yeah.
So it looked like a little bit of lack of practice or synergy.
For whatever reason, Dignitas wins when they make substitutes. Like, you go all the way back to when Golden Glue substituted for Scar, and they'd win even though he'd miss a shockwave and get a quad kill afterwards. It just happens.
That was against my team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you remember it.
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember just watching it. Like,
Here, Billy Boss teleports literally to a ward that would have been faster for him to run.
Yep.
But they win the game.
With the
so
safest
congratulations.
It happens nonetheless.
It's good. He seemed to settle in a little bit throughout the game, which is really, really hard to do in that environment. Made the bad teleport play around 18 minutes. And then, you know, he slowly got better at proccing his gray health. Sometimes he didn't proc it, sometimes he did it really early. And it was really Key-Ray, Shifter, Apollo, Kiwi that did that game in for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, but learning points for both teams as it was a pretty extended victory. We'll see if they can look to clean things up in the future. Let's see how the teams are arranged in the standings after today's performances. Leading the pack is Immortals and Energy Esports, who are both undefeated coming out of day 3. CLG shares third alongside Dignitas, each with 2 wins. In the bottom half of the pack, we have 5 teams tied with 1 win and 2 losses, while Team Liquid is still searching for their first win of the new season. Now, the teams will continue to shake out tomorrow, starting with our first match, TSM versus Team Dignitas. A bit later, Counterlogic Gaming will take on Cloud9, and we'll wrap up week 2 with Renegades versus Team Impulse. Now, make sure you tune in for our match of the week, a battle for first between Energy Esports and Immortals. And immediately following this broadcast tonight, stick around for week 2 of the ULOL Campus Series featuring Georgia Tech versus Florida State. Now, I want to give a special thank you to Mark Zimmerman for joining us today. And now for myself and the entire broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you mañana. Good night.
Who opens up week 2 properly here? Team Impulse on blue, Cloud9 on red. Here we go.
Didn't see that.
It's ulted. He's going to die for sure. Here comes Sarah from the backside. Oh, and so much disruption. They've already picked up 2. And Impulse take down Cloud9, only giving up 5 kills.
TP, Kevin, get red TP. Give me your ward. I want him.
I'm here.
Just slow. On pole altar. Kill his hammer. Go and finish it.
Let's go.
Hey,
Dennis, run.
One of you recall.
I'm on Braum. I'm resetting Braum. I got it.
Immortals 3-0.
Look, it says RIP, and then it's all my old teammates. Destroyed. That's so sad.
Oh my god.
RIP.
That's actually hilarious.
Oh, it's because we're here last season with the same sign, but now they just wrote RIP on it. That's really sad.
Play slow. Looks at the queue, gets a 2-man stun. Here comes the Renegades. Phoenix wants in, but oh no, Darshan and Hootie turn it back around, and Phoenix sniped away. That's gonna be it. CLG improved to 2-1.
2:31 on the clock. Oh, this is what we were looking for. The damage. Wait, can they follow up on it? You're right, the damage. Gotta get in for the smites. Crumbs over the wall. There's Kiwi Kitty goes in. Dignitas takes down Renegade.